What can I even make from this? Welcome back to Fabric School. Let's analyze this pillowcase. I work almost exclusively with secondhand fabrics, and sometimes you come across things like this. A single pillowcase made from a beautiful textured fabric. What can you even make from that? I personally don't make really small things like makeup bags and stuff like that. I focus on clothing. Sometimes I will make a purse, but I try to make the biggest piece possible from the fabric. This pillowcase is about 50 by 40 centimeters, which means I have about 1 meter by 40 centimeters of fabric to use. The first thing I consider is, do I have a fabric that matches any of these colors that I could add into the project so I would have more fabric to work with altogether? For example, a white or a bright orange in this case. The second thing I have to consider is, what are the fabric properties and what can it actually be turned into? I already explained this in a recent video, but this right here is another example of a very loosely woven fabric, which means you can't use it to make any item of clothing where you have a lot of tension on seams or a lot of friction, especially against other fabric, because that will destroy the fabric much, much quicker than you would like. So you need to be very specific in what products you're going to be using it for. In my case, I'm currently working on a fall-winter collection inspired by the 70s, so I decided to use this fabric to make a vest. A vest is a really good product for this fabric because, number one, you don't have sleeves rubbing against the bodice. You only have the vest itself. Number two, this fabric isn't 100% opaque. You can easily just line the vest, which will also mean that the texture of the fabric won't be on your skin. And on top of that, vests are a really good example of products where you actually often match different fabrics together. So, for example, using this fabric for all the front parts of the vest, but making the back in one solid color. Or another option that I always like to use is doing front and back in this fabric and having side panels in a different color.